Hello and welcome to a brand new season of Travel Stories with Moush. Before we kick off season 5, I just want to take a moment to thank each and every one of you. Your support has helped the podcast grow, win accolades, and climb the charts time and again. Please do continue to support and subscribe to the podcast because that is the only way we can continue doing what we are doing and bring you these incredible travel stories from around the globe. So, travel is not just going to places, it's about creating memories that truly connect with the soul. On the episode today, we are going to explore these meaningful journeys with Abhishek Dadlani, founder of Lush Escapes, who creates and crafts meaningful experiences that go beyond travel. They leave a lasting impact. Abhishek, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today. We have waited. I think we've tried to kind of do this for a while now, but thank you for joining us finally. And, you pride yourself in creating these transformational journeys, and you say that travel is about transformation, and you were not someone who was in the industry before. You changed gears. So was there a transformational journey that happened in your life that made you kind of go into travel so deeply?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me.
You're
Pleasure is all
welcome.
mine. But yes, travel has been transformational, and that's been the cusp of how I started this journey. So I was a banker by profession 17 years back, and then I shifted gears, and we deep dive into travel and wanted to curate something to fill in the need gap which existed within the luxury travel space and hone a more consultative approach.
Right.
So that's in a nutshell how Lush Escapes was born.
Okay.
And it's been quite a fulfilling journey so far.
Okay, brilliant. Now, let's begin with the very first question. Obviously, you've been in the business for a while now. You've traveled wide and far, but we're very interested to know where you're taking us on a journey today.
Okay, so let's deep dive into it. And let's start with the western seaboard of Canada, the lesser known part of western Canada, which is not the Rockies, which is not the Vancouver as a city. It is the archipelago of Vancouver Islands,
Okay.
which is the Great Bear Migration Rainforest, which is based out of British Columbia.
Okay.
The only way to get there is through an amphibious. Amphibious is a kind of aircraft which takes off from land and lands into water.
Okay.
So you basically are on this amphibious. You take this 1.5 hour plane ride. You land into a cove in the middle of nowhere, and that's where you reach to this amazing lodge, which is one of the most luxurious lodges in the whole of Canada. It's called the Nimmo Bay.
Okay.
And this is a lodge which houses only 6 huts overlooking a bay on the backdrop of rainforest. And that place is magical. It is just next to none. For the avid traveler, when we scouted this lodge, it was a part of the National Geographic portfolio.
Okay.
And we had amazing experiences such as foraging, kayaking in the waters. The closest civilization was 400 kilometers away. So you can imagine the element of solace, the element of silence. And on top of that, you were amidst the playground of polar bears.
That's beautiful.
So you can just imagine
Yeah.
and picture the setting. And it was so private, so exclusive that I absolutely fell in love with it.
That's fabulous, and what a beautiful experience. A bit of an adventure to get there, I'm sure.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
But now the world is become so well connected
Yeah.
with definitely Emirates,
Yes.
on our
Connecting
backdrop,
us so well.
connecting us so well.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was quite a hike. But I feel, more than 70% of the world now is within a 6-hour radius from us.
No,
which
that's
is
a
great.
beautiful journey to Canada. And of course, that place holds a special place in your heart. And there must be so many places around the world like that for you. But this one, I'm sure, is special. But having been around and being in this travel space for so long now, Do you think there is one particular place that you would recommend to everyone that everyone must visit once in their lifetime?
Well, I can probably pinpoint a couple of them,
Okay.
if you may.
Okay.
I would definitely look at the Nordic coast on the western side.
Okay.
So, especially during the midnight sun months, so this is the summer months, I know a lot of people are fascinated with the northern lights, which is also a phenomena next to none.
Yeah.
But I particularly like the Norwegian western front for the midnight sun phenomena, all the way from Svalbard in the north, which is up in the Arctic.
That's also a trek to get to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you start the journey from Svalbard.
Yeah.
Again, very pristine, very exclusive. It's still very virgin. You take a ferry, come onto the mainland to a place called Nordkapp, which
Okay.
is the northernmost tip of Norway, above 66° north within the Arctic belt. And that's where you actually start your drive through all the way down to Bergen in the southwest. Along the way, you're visiting villages of Bodo, you're doing Flam, you're doing Allison, Geiranger, you're looking at magnanimous fjords, you are sailing through the glaciers, you are staying in lodges and huts and farms which are just next to none. And that beauty is so enterprising and so awe-inspiring that I don't think that there is another destination which comes close to it.
Close to that.
My second choice would have been
So Norway definitely is your
so
first
Norway
pick.
definitely up there, and the second one is New Zealand
Okay.
because of the adventure impetus that New Zealand has.
Adventure
And
capital of the world. Yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And we do New Zealand very differently.
Okay.
We don't do the commercial circuit at all. We,
Which
in
is
fact,
good to know.
make our clients stay in a host of luxury lodges,
Okay.
which can be again privately booked. And these are estates which are privately owned, and then the families actually host you. So from Eagle's Nest in the Bay of Islands in the North Island to Hookah Lodge in Lake Taupo in the Central Highlands to the Blanket Bay in a place called Arrowtown, which is an hour away from Queenstown.
Okay.
So as you can see,
That's very
know-
interesting. I like that the fact of staying with families, that's
Right.
a whole new experience.
Right. So, and because again, New Zealand is so culturally invigorating because of the Māori culture over there, and also the beauty and the scenes and the landscapes are just to die for. I think there's a great myriad mix of beauty with culture, and it makes New Zealand such a great destination to visit.
Fabulous. No, those are great picks, but I just want to deviate a little bit over here and ask you, when you're talking about these experiences, obviously they're very attractive, the ones that I would like to go for, and I'm sure people who are into travel would love to go for these experiences. But today, AI has come in full form. Everyone's kind of going to all these, AI platforms and figuring out where to go, their itineraries, all of that. Where in this scenario, where do you come in? How do you come in? How do you break, it is a challenge, but how do you break this mindset of people that someone like you coming in and adding value to travel is so much more important than just going on a trip through AI? How do you break that?
I feel in luxury travel, the essence of human element is so important that even 10 years, 20 years down the road, I don't think that AI is completely going to transform the way I feel. It is so important from
Yeah.
a service aspect,
Yeah.
to have the human element, which is backed up by amazing concierge service
Yeah.
that we have in place.
And research and experience.
Absolutely.
And I completely agree with you, and I'm so glad you said that, because that is why this podcast, because someone like you coming and talking about these experiences, which is a first-hand information, really, so to speak. I mean, so many of these you will not really find online. You will find, you will know, but it's very authentic, it's very real. Now you spoke about experiences, and I think what you said about New Zealand, the experience that you craft over there is really unique. experiential travel is coming into the foreground again. It's a big word nowadays. Travel has changed so much over the years. People travel very differently nowadays. They just don't want to go to a place. They want to experience these different experiences. As a curator of various different experiences yourself, which is that one experience you think you have created and crafted that sticks with you?
I would say the number one experience that I have curated in my journey over the last almost 2 decades is a genealogy quest
Oh,
that I have kind of created for a European client of mine.
mm-hmm.
And this quest encompassed 9 months of actual preparation,
Oh,
entailed 2 months of travel across 15 cities, 3 continents, to actually get to know the origins and the ancestral heritage of this family.
that's very exciting.
So I think, that for me, from a fulfillment perspective
Mm-hmm.
and a transformational perspective, takes the cake, because the kind of research and the amount of brain work and the expert knowledge that was involved in crafting this 2 month long odyssey
Mm-hmm.
has just been magnanimous.
That's phenomenal. So you actually had to kind of go to all these various places because the family wanted to find out about their heritage?
Absolutely.
That's phenomenal. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your clients. Of course, you have some, HNIs that you work with, some royal clients perhaps. So I'm sure they all travel very differently, but give us a glimpse into one experience that has been highly challenging for you to curate for one of your HNI clients.
So I was once given the task by a celebrity to take his family to the most remotest part of Africa and make them stay with the most primitive tribe of Africa in existence.
Oh, wow.
So, after a lot of research, we found that there was this tribe called the Hausa tribe
Mm-hmm.
in Tanzania,
Mm-hmm.
and they are still present over there, and they are still very primitive. They live in a area which is south of Serengeti, in a place called Lake Ilyasi.
Okay.
This particular tribe, the Hausa people, they still do not interact with anybody from outside their, ecosystem.
Community. Okay.
They still use sign languages.
Oh.
They still hunt and eat, and they are still living in the ways which existed probably centuries and centuries.
So very, very primitive.
Very primitive. Very
Oh.
primitive. They hunt every day,
Oh,
and
God.
they hunt small animals. It's basically survival of the fittest. It's as primitive as one can get.
Or as animal-like as it can get.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
And that is an experience that we curated. So we took these celebs
Mm-hmm.
and his family to this region in Lake Ilyasi and made them travel for almost 300 kilometers from the closest civilization.
Mm-hmm.
And they reached there, and then they spent the entire day there, foraging, hunting with bows and arrows,
Wow.
partaking in religious activities and ceremonies, having a meal with them, and then sleeping in huts which were made of grass-fed farmland.
So that's not luxury then.
For the likes of people who listen to you and the fabulous audience that you have curated and created through this podcast, I'm sure that they will understand that luxury is now transcending into being synonymous with experiential travel.
Absolutely. So that really was a fabulous ride into Africa and to know about this particular tribe that I have never heard of. So that's a great travel story there. But now also tell me, in your opinion, which are the underrated places in the world today that deserve much more attention in the travel world?
I feel that a lot of places in the Caribbean are still underrated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of Cuba, Costa Rica, the western side of Mexico, which is Riviera Maya. So that region is very close to my heart. I feel it doesn't get the attention that it deserves.
Because everyone's going to Cancun.
Absolutely. So that's one. Second, I'm in awe of the beauty of the Kalahari Desert in Botswana.
That's a good one.
The second largest salt pans in the world after Bolivia are in Botswana in the Kalahari.
Mm-hmm.
But the kind of experiences that you can curate over there are next to none.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it is waking up in the morning at 6 a.m. and playing with the meerkats in their natural habitat, sleeping, in a tent in the middle of nowhere under the stars to see the curvature of the earth, or just, going on safaris to see endangered species which you will not find anywhere else in Africa. So I think Botswana is really underrated. And then, parts of Greenland, parts of the Falkland Island. Again, I talked about Norway earlier, Svalbard. I think, these are destinations which really need to be up there.
Yeah. I know those are fabulous picks, but also those are places that do need a trek to kind of go there, I mean, we did say that the world has become smaller, it's easier to get to, but, the time or the distance to travel is still, it's not kind of become less or anything, but those are great destinations. And I love what you said about Botswana, because it does deserve much more attention than we give it in the current scenario in travel right now. So, you've picked so many fabulous destinations around, and you've given us such great travel stories. We went to Canada first. We talked about Norway. We spoke about Botswana. But, for someone who has kind of really traveled so extensively, and you've gone around to some very unseen parts of the world, if I may say so, which would be your favorite picks, in terms of luxury, adventure, or cultural experiences? Because cultural experiences is also something a lot of travelers want to kind of immerse themselves in. So what destinations would you pick for these?
So for culture immersion, I would definitely pick Peru.
Okay.
And Japan.
Okay.
In terms of adventure, I will go back to New Zealand any day. I think New Zealand just takes the cake, man. There's nothing that comes close to New Zealand. South Africa could be a close second in terms of adventure and landscapes, but New Zealand takes the cake. And in terms of luxury, has to be Asia.
Coupled with their customer service, you can't go wrong.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, food is also a big part of travel. These culinary experiences. Many people travel for food. I travel for food. And there are parts of the world which are famous and really have some amazing gastronomy experiences. But in your opinion, which part of the world do you think is great for culinary travel?
So we'll start with India for sure.
There's nothing like Indian.
Being an Indian and that too at heart, I think, the kind of myriad mix that one can get.
Yeah, sure.
And deep dive into the gastronomy of Indian food, which is now synonym to anybody and everybody in the world. When they talk about food, probably India would be the top 3 or 5 picks for everyone.
That's true.
Second would be, I would pick Italy. I think Italy has always been up there.
Yeah.
And if you are a true gastronomic connoisseur, you need to go and hit up the right spots. So whether it is the wine from Montalcino, whether it is the burrata from Florence in Tuscany, whether it is the pizza from Naples, whether it is your pasta from the Puglia region, cuisine is just lip smacking, man.
You can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong there.
So India and Italy are your top favorites. Top picks for you for culinary travel. Oh, that's fantastic. I mean, both these cuisines, I think, are so popular with people. And again, it's a lot. Like for
Right.
India itself, to be able to enjoy food from all parts of India, you do need a lot of time. And same
Right.
goes with Italy. I
Italy
mean,
as
you,
well,
you
yes.
can't just go to Italy and go to one part and say you've gone to Italy.
Right.
You know, you can keep going to Italy multiple times and you still haven't had enough.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
You spoke about so many various different places and so many different experiences, some parts of the world that I haven't heard before, like this particular tribe in Africa. So now I'm very intrigued to know what would be your hidden gem.
So there's a place on the southern tip of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually an island called the Kangaroo Island.
Okay.
It is a 35-minute twin otter ride from Adelaide.
Oh.
So if you were to look at the map of Australia, Adelaide is right in the southern central part, right tip of the
Yeah.
southern central, and then just a 35-minute, short ride
Mm-hmm.
over to this island called Kangaroo Island.
Mm-hmm.
You drive on this island for 30 minutes after you land at a place called King's Coty. You reach a lodge which is perched on a cliff with only 14 rooms overlooking the Indian Ocean. The lodge is called the Southern Ocean Lodge. It is the southernmost tip of Australia. The only thing between that lodge and Antarctica is the ocean.
That's very hidden.
That's
I
very
mean,
hidden
yeah.
in its true sense,
Wow.
right? So we have been working very closely, and I went to that lodge the first time in August of 2013, and that place is just magical.
Wow. I mean, but that is truly hidden. And again, you know, Australia is a place which obviously to go there again is a bit of a trek to go to. So,
Right.
and if you're going all the way, then you really want this experience, and it's absolutely worth it, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, we've almost come to the end of the podcast, and it's been such a fascinating ride with you discussing all these various travel stories. But before you go, I want to know what is on your bucket list. What's next in travel for you?
Has to be space travel.
Okay.
Undeniably, right?
Okay.
At some point in time. As they
Okay.
say, inshallah.
Okay. All right. So, space travel for you, that is the next
Yeah,
big
that's
leap.
the epitome, I feel.
That's the next big leap in travel. Yeah, space travel for you then. That's on the bucket list. I hope you get to go to space someday.
At some point in time.
At some point
I know
in
we don't
life.
resonate with that fact, but yeah.
It'll happen. It'll happen.
someday.
Yeah, it'll happen someday. But thank you very much. This was a fabulous, fabulous travel tales and going to all these fascinating journeys that you took us to. And I wish you all the best. And I really hope you get to go to space sometime soon and come back and tell us the stories about space.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
me. It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I hope our conversations have fueled your wanderlust and inspired you to explore the world in new and exciting ways. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and let us know what you thought of today's episode. Until the next time, safe travels and keep adventuring.